Citizens of Azeroth! Today is the day we turn the tide! Today is the day that we retake our world and send the Legion back to the hell that spawned them!
What's up, my regulars? My name is of course Bencraft, and welcome to the top 10 most important mages in World of Warcraft. Magi, the most common of arcanists, are found all over Azeroth, and we are going to count down the top 10 most important ones. Since throughout World of Warcraft's history, there have been a great number of heroic and important mages, and today we'll take a look at it. So, I will be using the World of Warcraft Wikipedia page as a reference, and I'll leave a list of all the mages in the World of Warcraft down below in the description, so you all can check them out. But let's get to the countdown. Number 10.
Please, no more! My son! He's gone mad!
At number 10, we got Nielas Aran. Nielas Aran was the court conjurer of Stormwind and the Archmage of the Kirin Tor, but he is most known for being the father and teacher of the well-known sorcerer Medivh. Nielas Aran was the one left in care for the baby Medivh, since Aegwynn, Medivh's mother, was working for the Order of Tirisfal, which was a secret council of high elf, gnome and human mages, which had the selection of the Guardian of Tirisfal, which at the time was Medivh's mother, Aegwynn. Nielas Aran's death is a tragic one. Medivh awoke one night to fever dreams and sought to look for his father. Upon merely touching the boy, a backlash of energies poured from the child, which was Medivh, and eventually killed Nielas Aran and put Medivh in a deep sleep. So Nielas Aran is now dead, but he does not slumber peacefully. In Karishan, a boss called Shade of Aran walks around in the Guardian's library, and how he got in that tower is still unknown, but it is confirmed that it is Medivh's father, Nielas. Number 9.
Mortals! You dare breach our inner sanctum?
Unbelievers! Heretics! Burn! Burn!
The number 9 spot goes to Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall is a two-headed ogre, one of the first seen in many generations. Cho'Gall was trained in the arts of the arcane by none other than the well-known warlock Gul'dan. Cho'Gall became one of the first feared members of the Old Horde, and he even became the chieftain of an orc clan which he named as Twilight's Hammer. Cho'Gall was not only extremely powerful, but he also was dangerously insane, as his clan was devoted to bringing the apocalypse. Cho'Gall is known for doing a lot of bad shit. He aided his master in the creation of the Death Knights, the creation of the Altar of Storms, and the transformation of normal ogres into ogre magis, and using it become ogre mages. In Cataclysm, Cho'Gall appears as the leader of the Twilight's Hammer clan, and seeks to corrupt the people of the Horde and Alliance to create the apocalypse, until he is defeated as the last boss in the raid in the Bastion of Twilight. Number 8.
Behold, yet another terrifying creature of incomprehensible power!
Where in Bonzo's brass buttons am I? And who it... That is one mother of a headache.
What is this? A lowly gnome? I will do better, oh great one.
Lowly? I don't care who you are, friend. No one refers to the mighty Millhouse Manastorm as lowly.
At number 8, we have Millhouse Manastorm. Millhouse Manastorm is a character which was first introduced in the Burning Crusade as a prisoner in the Alcatraz. Even though the Alcatraz is a place of imprisonment for dangerous beings that Naro have encountered, Millhouse was not. How he got in the Alcatraz is still unknown, but is luckily released by the player at the end of the dungeon. And after that, we don't really see Millhouse again until Cataclysm, as he now returns as a member of the Twilight's Hammer. He is involved in the operations in Deepholm, and appears numerous times in the dungeon Stonecore. He also appears in Mists of Pandaria as the final boss in the Brawlers Guild, and in Walls of Draenor in your garrison, and as a follower. Also as a toy. So, not only that, Millhouse appears again in the Violet Hole dungeon in Legion, if Maleficent Millhouse is the boss. They argue throughout the whole fight and eventually escapes, looking for him. Poor guy.
Finally free from that cursed mage trap. Such a...
Hey there! I was just enjoying a relaxing vacation on the beach when a chilling sense of dread washed over me. Just what are you up to, I wonder?
Wait! I recognize that voice.
Oh, Buttons, what have you done? Hurry, get her back in the cell!
Millhouse, you're next!
Now, make fun of her hair. It won't help, but it'll make her really mad!
Why, you? No one insults my hair! No one!
Listen, Millie, I can explain.
Don't Millie me, Millhouse Manastorm! I'm coming for you!
That's not even my middle name! Thanks a lot. You have no idea what you unleashed upon the world today. On a completely unrelated note, I have to go take care of something.
Number 7.
In ages past, this shield defended the young world soul against madness and corruption. Today, it serves those who fight for Azeroth. I am Aegwynn, guardian of Tirisfal.
Aegwynn is our number 7 spot today. She's known to be one of the greatest guardians of Tirisfal, but is mostly known for being the mother of the last guardian, Medivh. Aegwynn was trained in magic by the guardian before her, known as Magna Scavel. She was the only female apprentice among 5 others, but the Order saw that she had the most potential and chose her as their guardian. 500 years later, following her guardianship, Aegwynn traveled to Northrend in order to defeat demons there, which were stalking dragons. After killing them with the help of the dragons, an avatar of the Dark Titan Sargeras arose from the dust. And with the help of the dragons, Aegwynn battled and defeated the Lord of the Legion, and trapped his physical form near the Maelstrom within the tomb of Sargeras. After defeating Sargeras, Aegwynn withdrew from the council and took solace in Karasha, a tower built by her own hands. 778 years later, and 70 years prior to World of Warcraft as we know today, she chose the conjurer of Azeroth, Nielas Aran, as I talked about earlier, to father her heir. Her heir. Aegwynn gave birth to a son the fall of that year and named him Medivh. Aegwynn gave Medivh a great knowledge of the Tirisfal to be made when he reached physical maturity, but when that time came, however, he couldn't control it and eventually ended up killing his father Nielas. Medivh awoke 20 years later, corrupted by the Dark Titan, and Aegwynn watched in shock as her son made a pact with the Burning Legion and brought the orcs to Azeroth. Aegwynn confronted Medivh, but he was too strong, and Medivh almost killed Aegwynn, his mother, but with the last of her power she teleported out to escape. Some still say that Aegwynn is still alive to this day. Number 6.
Energy. Power. My people are addicted to it. A dependence made manifest after the Sunwell was destroyed. Welcome to the future. A pity you're too late to stop it. No one can stop me now!
The number 6 spot goes to Prince Kael'Thas Sunstrider. Kael'Thas was a senior member of the Kirin Tor and a prince of the Elven kingdom Kael'Thas, the last of the Sunstrider dynasty. After the fall of the Kael'Thas, Kael'Thas led what remained of his people after the Scourge attack in the service of the Alliance. After the destruction of Silvermoon, Kael'Thas began to notice an emptiness within himself and his brethren, a hunger. However, they didn't have time to deal with that. In the service of the Alliance, Kael had other duties. Kael and his allies tried to defeat several undead locations, but when they were outmatched, Lady Vosh and Naga Witch soon arrived to offer her aid. Kael agreed, and without her, Kael and his men would surely have died. but the Alliance saw that Kael was plotting with the Naga and arrested Kael and his men for treason. The Naga then broke into the dungeons of Dalaran and freed Kael'Thas and his men, and ultimately leading them to Outland, where they would serve the Naga's master Illidan Stormrage. Illidan promised the Blood Elves to stop their hunger if they served him, which they did, until they saw that Illidan's plans was not the right for him and his people. So they turned their backs on him and entered an alliance with the Burning Legion. Not all of them, of course, but Kael'Thas led his people to Netherstorm, where he resided in Tempest Keep, but is ultimately defeated by the heroes of Adal and Khadgar. But despite his defeat at Tempest Keep, Kael'Thas survived and went to the Isle of Quildamas to restart the Sunwell, but not to aid his people, but to summon his new master, Jaina. He is in the end defeated by Lady Leadrin and her Blood Knights, which worked for the Shatar. Number 5.
You require my assistance?
At number 5 we have Archmage Antonidas. Antonidas was but a mere boy when he became apprenticed to one of the Kirin Tor, and after a few years of studying, Antonidas had outclassed his fellow students and was well got the respect from his elders. As the mage grew older, he earned a position as one of the Council of Six, and when he later became known as the front figure and leader of Dalaran and the Kirin Tor. As his age started to take its toll on Antonidas, his apprentice Jaina Proudmoore served as his eyes and ears in the world, hoping that one day she would take the mantle of leadership and become a great Archmage of the Kirin Tor. As time grew, the news of a new plague came to Dalaran, and when the wizard Kael'Thas began with the arcane art of necromancy, Antonidas banned him from Dalaran and sent his finest pupil, Jaina Proudmoore, who were accompanied by the young prince Arthas to investigate this new plague. Following the events, Antonidas continued to study the plague from afar until it finally came to his doorstep. The scourge led by Kael'Thas and Arthas had come to claim the Book of Medivh. While Antonidas did his best to protect Dalaran, he was ultimately defeated and murdered by Arthas.
It pains me to even look at you, Arthas.
I'll be happy to end your torment, old man. I told you that your magics could not stop me.
Number 4.
Citizens of Dalaran, raise your eyes to the skies and observe. Today our world's destruction has been averted in defiance of our very makers.
Rhonin is our number 4 spot today. Rhonin was once a promising mage of the Kirin Tor until a disastrous mission involving reckless use of magic that cost the lives of all of his comrades. And Crassus, Kirin Tor senior mage, and one in the Council of Six, convinced Rhonin to take up a dangerous mission to regain his honor and earn back the respect of the Kirin Tor. Rhonin agreed to this mission and went with Crassus and the dwarf warrior Falstad, and later to be wife of him, Veressa's son Windrunner. The mission went to be successful, and he earned back his trust. Rhonin, together with Crassus and Versa, is also among the few known survivors of the Scourge attack that destroyed Lord Ron, and sadly, most of Rhonin's family died during the fall of the town Anderhall. Even though Rhonin was expected children with his wife Veressa, Crassus sent Rhonin to check out a rift in time, and this rift in time sent Rhonin along with the orc veteran Broxigar 10,000 years back in time to the Burning Legion's first invasion. It was there Rhonin befriended Malfurion, Tyrande, and even became Illidan's Stormage mentor. As a reward for Rhonin's courage, the dragon aspect Nosdormu allowed Rhonin to return to Veressa as she was in labor. In later years, Rhonin became the leader of the Kirin Tor and helped rebuild and relocate the city of Dalaran in the campaign in Northrend. He's mostly known for his actions during the Old War mission and fighting Malagos and the Blue Dragonflight, but Rhonin later dies in Mr. Pondera during Garrosh Hellscream's mana bombing of Theramore, when he tries to contain the mana bomb. While doing that, he managed to save his wife and tell Jaina Proudmoore that she is the new leader of the Kirin Tor. Number 3.
My apprentice returns. It is good to see you again, Khadgar.
Medivh? How?
The number 3 spot goes to Medivh. Medivh was the last guardian of Theros Fall, which I have told a lot about earlier, but it is an ancient line of protectors bestowed with the great powers to do battle with the agents of the Burning Legion. However, as I have told earlier, he was corrupted even before birth and possessed by the spirit of the Dark Titan Sargeras, which used Medivh in his plan to conquer Azeroth. Medivh contacted the Orcish warlock Gul'dan, and together they opened the Dark Portal, which allowed the Burning Legion to begin its destruction of Azeroth. He was slain shortly after, though, by a party led by one of his friends, Andin Lothar and Khadgar, and Medivh is one of the most influential characters in World of Warcraft, and is responsible for the wars between the orcs and the humans. He appears in Warcraft 1, in Warcraft 3, and in World of Warcraft The Burning Crusade when we invade Karishan. He is also a major character in the first Warcraft movie, and the story of Medivh is just a tragic one.
Number 2.
Welcome to Theramore. Have you come to help the Alliance?
At number 2, we have none other than Lady Jaina Proudmoore. Jaina is a character that we play World of Warcraft is well familiar with. She is the founder and the former lady of Theramore Isle, and after the destruction of Theramore, she took leadership of the Kirin Tor. At an early stage, her father, Grand Admiral Daelin Proudmoore, sent her to Dalaran, where she could study under one of the greatest wizards of the Kirin Tor, Archmage Antonidas. Jaina became early one of the most talented and trusted sorceresses of the Kirin Tor. Early in the Third War, Antonidas sent Jaina to discover what was happening in the Northlands of Lordaeron. She was escorted by her childhood friend and one-time romantic interest, Prince Arthur's Medivh. And most of us know what happened from here. And later, Jaina is involved in helping Thrall and the orcs of the New Horde, and helping Tyrann the Whisperwind and Malfurion Stormrage defend Mount Cho'Gall from the Legion's grasp. All led by the mysterious prophet that later got known to be the newly resurrected Medivh. Following the Legion's defeat on Mount Cho'Gall, Jaina took her refugees to the eastern coast of Kalimdor and named it Theramore. Little did she know that her father, Grand Admiral Daelin Proudmoore, leader of the Kael'Thas, was visiting. Upon visiting, he saw Rexxar and other orcs and demanded their arrest. All of this leads to Jaina helping the orcs kill her father and then making peace between them for years. Later in Wrath of the Lich King, Jaina helped to stop the clash. Sorry about that. The clashing between the Alliance and the Horde, and during the Battle of Undercity. She helped during the Ulduar campaign, and she tried to confront the Lich King in the Frozen Halls. And when the fall of the Lich King happened, Jaina found out that Arthas had kept her locket for all this time, and that there was still some Arthas left in there. In the Cataclysm, Jaina is beware of Garrosh's rising power and bulks up the defense of Theramore. In Mists of Pandaria, though, Garrosh was planning to conquer Kalimdor, and Jaina and her forces from Theramore repelled the attack until the Horde used a bomb known as the Mana Bomb. It blew up the whole of Theramore. It killed a lot of people, including Rhonin, and as we talked about earlier, and made Jaina in a rage for revenge and justice. She helps kill the Thunder King and helps in the assault against Orgrimmar, and in Walls of Draenor she meets with Khadgar in Sangara to talk about the Horde about not being allowed in the Council of the Kirin Tor. In Legion, though, Khadgar travels to Dalaran to initiate a vote to allow the Horde entry back into the Kirin Tor, and this happens, so this makes Jaina go in another rage, and it's actually not seen since. So we believe that she would play a much more significant role in the next expansion, the Battle of Azeroth, as it will take place in her homelands, so Jaina's story has still to continue. But she is without a doubt one of the most important lore characters in the history of World of Warcraft. For this video though, before we take number 1, we have some honorable mentions. First we have Aethas Sunriver, Darkshan Drathir, Cho'Gall, the mages Romath and Ashara. And really I couldn't really fit them into this video. Ashara though is one of the most powerful mages in the history of World of Warcraft, so I think I just forgot about her, but I didn't forget about her. She's on this list. So yeah, number 1!
And number 1!
And that is why I can never accept your offer.
never be the Legion's pawn, and this tower will not be its den!
And the winner, and what I think is the most important mage in World of Warcraft, is Archmage Khadgar. Not only is he one of the most powerful mages that ever lived, he was the apprentice for the last god in Medivh, and went on to become one of the greatest heroes of the Alliance during the Second War, and as a commander of the Alliance expedition on Draenor. At a young age, Khadgar was sent by the Kirin Tor to apprentice under the wizard Medivh in his tower at Karasha. After many years of working together, Khadgar unraveled Medivh's plot to open a portal between Azeroth and Draenor, and Khadgar managed to best his masters and Sagaris by plunging a sword into Medivh's heart. Khadgar would also be very important in Warcraft 2 when the Alliance expedition went to Draenor to stop the Shaman Ner'zhul and end his invasion of Azeroth. Khadgar closed the portal from the other side and was actually believed to be dead. That is until in the Burning Crusade we meet him again in Shattrath, and now as an advisor to the Naaru called Adal. We do not see Khadgar again until Waldos of Draenor, when he, together with Marad and Thrall, is one of the first to enter the Dark Portal when it opened to alternative Draenor. Khadgar is then a major character throughout the whole expansion, and is on the mission to stop Gul'dan and his Burning Legion. In the end of Warlords of Draenor, Khadgar and the heroes of Azeroth and Draenor manage to stop Archimonde, but Gul'dan escapes into our timeline. And that started off the Legion expansion. In Legion, Khadgar is one of the most important and key characters throughout the whole thing, and he moves to Dalaran to the Broken Shore. He aids all of the classes in the class order halls. He helps us stop Gul'dan and aid us in the campaign in Suramar. He's battling with us on the Broken Shore, and he even joins us on Argus. So needless to say, Khadgar is definitely one and made the most important mage that is on this list. And after years, after Khadgar's last speech in patch 3.5, I sadly think we won't see him in a long time. So that was my top 10 list of the 10 most important mages in World of Warcraft. Sorry I added the honorable mentions after I made the list, so I'm really sorry if you're still missing some mages. Leave a comment down below and I will take a look at them, because I maybe agree, I maybe don't, but this was my list. Do you agree with my list or do you not agree with my list? Leave a comment down below in the description and I will take a look at them. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want. I will upload more of these if these get popular. So yeah, Bencraft, over and out.